right.
Yes.
Tell Mom I said, hey.
All right. Oh, man. All right, DH ought to be any second now.
All right, we're live. We're up. Just popped up.
You got it
We're
already?
good. Yes, we're
All right,
ready.
let's go ahead and get that intro.
All right.
Hi, this is Ivan from Men Without Hats, and you're listening live from Nashville to the D&D Dynamite 80s podcast with DC and DH.
Live from Nashville, Tennessee, you are listening to the D&D Dynamite 80s podcast with your hosts, DC and DH. So guys, take it away. Hey, welcome.
All right.
Wednesday night.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. I'm DH.
Hey, I am DC.
And DC, I don't even want to finish the introduction tonight, man. I'm so excited for who we have on tonight.
Oh, man.
I don't care how your week's been. I don't care how your day went. I just want to get the introduction.
Hey, we're out of school, man. It's summertime, so everything is smooth.
Yeah.
That's right.
I got a new thing for the summer. Instead of the summer of the honey-do, I want the summer of the honey don't. I want to sit on the recliner.
That's right. I hear you. Oh, yeah, man. It's a pleasure tonight. We
Yes.
are honored to have Mike Farner with us, original member of Grand Funk Railroad, and just an amazing career that
Yes.
he has had over the long run of this deal, man. And we're going to touch on some of the key points throughout his career. He's doing his own deal with his own band
Yes.
right now, and awesome stuff that he's put out. And Mark, it is a pleasure to have you,
Yes,
man. We
and an
appreciate you
honor.
taking some time.
Thank you, boys. It's good to be with you tonight, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. I got to start with this. Flint, Michigan, where you were raised.
Yep.
And man, what talent has come out of Michigan is unreal in the music business.
Yes, sir.
You're talking Seeger, you're talking all kinds of just top-notch talent.
Right.
I was just curious, at what age did you know you wanted to do this thing?
Well, I think it was 15. I was playing ball. I was playing football. I was in the junior varsity, and we had a good team. And we was undefeated. I was defensive linebacker over center, and I loved to hear my name get called on that loudspeaker.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I lived to hear that, and my mother knew that, and God rest her soul. She got me guitar lessons because my doctor, I got injured, and the doctor said, well, he's not going to be playing ball and he's not going to be running track in the fall. And my heart just was sinking.
Sure.
I quit playing the tuba in the band so that I could get the girls to look at me. But she got me 6 lessons and rented an acoustic guitar, a K, that the strings were this far away from the neck. It would have been a better bow
and arrow.
But yeah. I took 3 of the lessons, and October 20th is when ringneck pheasant season starts, and the teacher went out pheasant hunting with his 12 gauge, and he did the the number one no that all hunters know you don't do. He was climbing a fence with that dang 12 gauge, and he shot himself in the foot.
Oh,
so yeah, he called my mother, said, yeah, Mark's picking up by ear, and by the second time we were together, I was playing the do 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 do, and he was just doing the chords, rhythm guitar behind me, and then we'd switch, and I do the rhythm guitar behind him. And he says, "Man, you're just picking this up quick." And I said, "Well, I love music. We jammed in the dining room. My whole family got together every Sunday. It was either in our 11-room farmhouse that my great granddad built, and everybody brought dish and jam. They brought their instruments.
Wow.
Grandpa Cotton brought the fiddle, and Woody brought the guitar, and Brian brought the banjo, and my dad had guitar, and he blew saxophone. And the women, when they started singing, brothers, it was angels singing.
Yes.
And I was
Wow.
just this little shaver, at 3, 4 years old. I'm looking up at all these great big grown-ups, but loving what they were doing.
Sure.
Uh, there, there was no booze involved, just food and lots of singing
Yes.
and playing.
Right. Right.
And so that's what it got on me, back then. And when when I was in the band that playing the sousaphone, I moved up to first chair, but just because I loved playing it. And there was only three of us, but I got up pretty quick.
You moved to the front. That's
Yeah,
right.
man. Yeah. It's kind of like a trio, the tuba trio.
Oh,
Instead of the
wow.
troubadours, it's the tubadors.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Well, then my mother, after I, got to playing with the guys in the high school, and they were showing me some chords, and my sister sang with them, and they would just get together and jam. Some fellas from one boy was from Arkansas, and one from Mississippi, and my mother was came from Leachville, Arkansas, to move to Flint when she was
Okay.
16 years old. And this is what happened. A lot of people that came from the South, man, and there was lots that moved up and got
Wow.
high-paying
Okay.
auto factory jobs.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Okay.
this is where we had the North meets the South, and we had a music every place you went, man. There was a lot of music and people happy because when you're playing music and singing and playing and dancing, you're happy. You just
Right.
happy.
Sure. Sure.
We lived for that Sunday, and man, when she finally bought me a Harmony electric guitar, my first one, out of a Fingerhut catalog, and it had the matching amplifier that was this big, had an 8-inch speaker. And man, I couldn't wait to plug that thing in and play with these guys.
Sure.
I slept with that guitar, boys. I am not kidding you. I covered it up. It was right with me. And when I woke up, I was playing it and I would play it till I fell asleep. So yeah, I just love it. I still love it. It speaks to me. It's part of who I am. It gets to a part of me that nothing else can touch.
Wow.
Man,
Yes.
it's good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Mark, one of the things I want to, I'm interested to hear, you have influenced so many artists over the years of your career and continue to.
Sure.
But I kind of wonder who were some of, I mean, you've talked about your family. Who else were some of your musical influences?
Well, uh, vocally, Howard Tate, man, Howard Tate. I loved Stevie Wonder's voice and Aretha's voice, and I am a product of where I grew up, man. I'm out Flint, Michigan, and I even got my Motown shirt on here.
There you go.
But we had CKLW in Windsor, Ontario, and I think they were like 50,000 watts, and they were blasting over Michigan. And Rosalie Trombley, program director there, she was blasting all of this Motown and all this R&B. So we were heavily influenced by it because I love to dance too. And so my sister and I would go to the dance contests, and we'd win a lot of them because we danced together. My mother showed us how to dance, push back all the
Wow.
chairs and everything, and
Yeah.
just cut a rug, and it worked. And I think that the influence of everybody that moved up to all the people that got jobs in the auto factories, and that's what people talk about when they go, how did all that music come together? That's how it happened, man.
Mhm.
They moved here from the South. Like I said, my mom and her family, the whole family from Leachville, Arkansas, you know, and that's where Michigan got set apart. And up here, we didn't have the racial discrimination like there was in the South. And so they had to get used to that and
Yeah.
loved it. They loved it, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
cool. So cool.
That is. And you know, the thing is, it's amazing how the music and the art that you've created has lasted so many years. Uh, you know,
Gonna make you feel great,
it,
man.
it does,
Just
and it's a gift
awesome.
that you just keep.
Yeah.
It just keeps on giving to
Giving.
more and more
Uh-huh.
people. So, you know, first off, thank you for that. But how does it feel to know that you've created such art that it just keeps giving to people
Generation after
after
generation.
generation? Yes.
Well, it's satisfying and it's encouraging. Uh, just you boys sitting here with me, I'm very encouraged by your hearts, your truth of your words, and the way that you have a reverence for music, and you know the importance of music, and I think because man, I always wanted love, I always wanted peace, I wrote the song
Amen.
"People Let's
Yeah.
Stop the War," back during the Vietnam
Yeah.
era, and I wrote "I'm Your Captain." And I got that after I prayed my "Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep" prayer, and after I blessed everybody in the whole family, and you know, and then I put a PS on the end, and I said, God, would you give me a song that would reach and touch the hearts of those you want to get to?
And that's something.
I went to sleep. I got up in the middle of the night. I get up a lot of times in the middle of the night and write stuff down because I used to think as I'm dreaming and all these songs were coming to me. I said, "Oh yeah, I'll have to remember that." I never remembered not even one of those,
Yeah.
not even
Right.
one.
I've
So
heard that from other artists. They
yeah,
just stop what they're doing to jot it down.
yeah, you got to do it
Yeah.
right then.
Yeah.
So, anyways, man, I roll up, I grab my steno pad, and I start writing. And I'm in the state of mind, you guys, that I'm like halfway between heaven and earth, somewhere. I'm not really consciously awake and conscious of what I'm doing. I'm just letting the spirit move me. And songwriters will write a verse, and then we'll read that verse and over maybe a couple of times, three times, and then it'll inspire us to write that second verse. And then we keep reading over and over. But this night, I knew better. I knew better. Thank God. Uh, I knew that if I would go back to the top and
Mhm.
read down, I would lose it. It'd be just like what you was talking about, songwriters going, man, I should have got up and
Yeah.
but this I had to keep going. And the farther I went down the page, man, the more fatigue was setting in on me physically,
Mm.
mentally. I felt like, man, are you kidding me? What is going on here? And I'm writing, you know, and by the time I got to the last words, I was spent. I mean,
Wow. Wow.
somebody pulled the plug on. And so I rolled back under them sheets and finished off the night. I got up in the morning, went out, and I'm drinking a cup of coffee, looking at the horses out in the pasture. And I got my George Washburn, American made George Washburn,
Yeah.
sitting in a guitar stand. And so I pick it up and I go, boom, bop, 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 doo 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 doo, that first lick. And I went,
Yeah.
wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. And I hit this inversion of a C chord that I'd never hit before, but I just grabbed it and there it was. And I'm
Wow.
going, wow, that's very good. I got to remember this. And as I'm telling myself, remember it's right there. Like, and I'm gonna write this down because I got my pad. And then my mind, I went, oh, maybe that is lyrics. Maybe that is a song in the other room. I go get it and I start playing. And I just start saying, everybody listen to me. It's just
Yeah.
here it is. I didn't touch those words. I just sang them. I I pushed the red button on that Sony cassette recorder.
I remember those.
and
Oh
I
yeah.
and I recorded it and I took it to rehearsal and we worked on it it turned into what it turned into. And I
Wow.
thank God that it touched so many hearts. I thank God for giving it to me. I have been altered by the souls who have shared with me, the brothers who got on the ship to come home, and they told me that this was their anthem. I'm your captain, and they played it on their boombox. And when it would get to the end, they'd play it
Play it
again.
again. Sure.
Yeah, all the way back
Isn't
home.
that something?
And when they got off the ship, they went down and kissed Mother Earth.
Sure.
Wow.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
it's
wow. What an
part,
inspiring
yes,
message.
it is it's part of the lyric
Yeah.
context. I will kiss you, Mother Earth. If you return me to my home port,
Yeah.
I will kiss you, Mother Earth.
Yeah.
You know, and they tell me about this, and I'm crying my eyes out, you guys.
Sure.
I'm not kidding you.
Oh, yeah.
It is just really something that makes living shine. It
Mm.
is. It's something like that that has touched somebody sharing with you from their heart and their soul. And these guys, man, they told me we hung on every word to that song, and that song was what brought me home.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wow.
wow. That is, and that was voted number one song by the Vietnam
Yes.
Veterans of America. They called me and wanted me to come to the 25th anniversary of the monument, the wall in
Yeah.
Washington,
Yeah.
D.C., where they were putting on a ceremony, and they wanted me to play the song. And I said, "Well, you just want me to do it like with an acoustic?" And he said, "Yeah, I said, "Well, are you going to have a stage and lights and PA and stuff?" "Oh yeah, we're going to have." I said, "I'll tell you what, won't cost you a cent. I'll bring the band." So we got on the tour bus. The band went in. We played them a show. We were warming our hands up on the light bulbs in the dressing room because it was 36 degrees
Wow.
in Washington, D.C. And son, we got on the stage and it just warmed up. And not only American veterans that were there, the Vietnam veterans, but also our Canadian brothers and sisters, Vietnam veterans that I have high esteem for.
Yes.
Speaking to them and seeing them crying right along with the Americans when I was singing the song, I'm your cap. And it's hard to sing with a softball in your neck, but I was so choked up. But that's
Wow.
outstanding to me, um, and a memory that will never fade. I'll take that right into the grave with me, man, and it'll carry me. Just the love that was all around me that night.
What music
Well,
does to people,
and,
Yeah,
in their
and
lives.
the
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing that affirms to me and it confirms for me is that I'm going to be honest with you. You can kind of tell through the music and the projects that you've done, you have the heart of a servant. And for you to
Yeah.
go in and do that for those individuals or for, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
I mean, wow.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's
Mark, that was the next thing I was going to kind of go into was I was going to kind of steal DH's thunder on this one. He usually asks it a lot. But hey, when it's a great question, it's a great question. And you may have already answered it. So if you have, that's fine. Go ahead and maybe. I know over the years you've had lots of memories
Yeah.
of special occasions and things that happened to you. That sounds like to me, as you described it, probably your top one, or one of the ones that would be at the top.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
would be some others that have been very memorable to you over your career?
Well, playing in Schweinfurt, Germany, they backed up two semi flatbeds. That was our stage. There was three tanks out in the field,
Wow.
and the target light over the barrel
Yeah.
was the spotlight for our stage.
Wow.
So when I'd run across the stage, this tank was going. In
So
my
you're
day,
staring at the barrels the whole night.
yeah, but there was 10,000 troops, and then a lot. I mean, probably 30,000 German civilians. Then
Mm.
we had a festival, man. We had us a time. It's one of those, here's some Americans on the stage entertaining our boys and our women. I never forget the women. God bless them. But the atmosphere, just you know, that I was floating across that stage too. It's just when you get that kind of emotion,
Yeah.
and I'm sensitive to it. I thank God that I'm sensitive to it. I don't think, like, oh man, no, you got to be tough. No, man, you got to be soft. You got to get you some of this because this is what's real. And being tough is gonna keep you away from it. I want to get as soft as I can get so that my spirit rests in a nice spot where people can see that serving love because God is love, man.
Yes.
Yes.
You know,
Amen.
and
Amen.
that's
Amen.
that's my master. God is I'm not going to spend my time serving anybody else. I'm going to serve love, and that's all that I'll serve. So
Awesome.
when it's happening like that, uh, these people don't really realize, I don't think, how much the spirit is. It's just in them. It is in between going through, and you feel waves. You go to this side of the stage and you get waves of emotion that are just rolling over the top of you. They're loving it so much, and the expression. So
Mm.
that's that kind of stuff, DC, that I'm sure that's what you was want to get at as something. What is it? Yeah, those gigs like that. What do they carry? What kind of memories do they carry?
Sure.
That's for me. That is the ultimate. When you get
Wow.
that, and that's honesty. That's not somebody having to,
Yes.
Yeah.
plug it in or power it up. It's just, man, it is honest and it's love.
Sure.
I've gotten that. I'm doing a. I did a gig in a maximum security prison in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Wow. Okay.
500 inmates in a maximum security, and it was on an Air Force base, an old Air Force base that was turned into a prison area, and they had a theater, and the chaplain told us, uh, you know, when these guys come in, if it comes off religious to them, uh, about half of them, you say Jesus Christ, half of them's going to get up and leave. And he said, I just want you to be aware of that. I don't
Right.
want you to
Right. Right.
freak out. So we go, okay, that's myself and a friend of mine. Uh, but I had tapes that I played to, and I had a PA system. Part of it's down here. This is part of what I took in there. And when I walked out on stage, I said, how you doing, you sons of bitches? and and it all of a sudden they knew it wasn't going to be religious.
Right.
You know, uh, Paul became as the Romans to win Romans. I'm thinking, why can't I become as somebody? Because it's the love in me that's after them, anyways.
Sure.
Right.
They're going to find that out.
Yeah.
And I've never given an altar call, although I believe, that everybody's got to have their moment with God, and
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, but I said at the end of our performance, our program, I said to them, boys, you got children at home, you got grandchildren at home, you got nieces and nephews that are all looking to you to be that role model. And I don't want you back in here. I know you don't need to be back in here, and you don't even want to be back in here because you got to be the role model for them kids. They're looking up to you. So I said, rather than doing an altar call or something like that, I just want to challenge you because I feel the spirit moving in me, and I'm feeling it right now, you guys, because it's coming alive in me. And I says to them, I could feel it in the room. And I said, I know you can feel it because I'm feeling it. I'm describing it to him. I said, so if you're going to commit yourself to being that role model and you ain't coming back here, why don't you just stand up with me right now? And everybody stood up. 500
Wow.
inmates stood up.
Amazing.
And that's the power of love. That's the power
Yeah.
of God. That's God.
Yes.
Sure.
Amen. Yes.
Absolutely.
Not shutting nobody out, going.
That's
And
right. That's right.
I believe that we're empowered to do that.
Mm.
And we don't get no ego about it. We get the ultimate satisfaction because when you given, uh, God rewards
Yes.
that gift
Yes.
Yes.
with a another dose of more love.
You
I
know,
mean, what
and
do you want? Come on.
The strongest thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Most
one of
powerful
those.
thing.
That's one of those stories that you share that
Mm.
just you can feel the cold chills going up your arm because
Yeah,
you know the spirit is moving, and
absolutely.
it's just amazing. And anytime the spirit moves, it's going to be amazing.
Yes. Yeah, we give out 3 cases of modern English New Testament. I never give out the Old Testament. I say you got to get to know Jesus, and when you get to know Jesus, uh, then maybe you want to go back and hit some of that Old Testament. But just get to know with
Yes.
the modern English version, it was easy for them. And the guys were so appreciative. I'm telling you, it was not like you were standing there with a bunch of murderers and or people that were criminals. These guys were wonderful. They just not any soapbox, oh, you hear about that people getting that soapbox religion in the prison or something. No, man, these guys were sincere and that's as good for me as an audience as being at Shea Stadium. And it was all my music that sold out Shea Stadium faster than the Beatles in 1971. We sold 55,000 seats out of the Shea Stadium ticket
Mm.
office, man. There was no
Wow.
online
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
sales.
Sure. Sure.
They camped out on the lawn outside the stadium. Uh,
55,000 people. Wow.
Y- Yeah, and those people, man, they were there and it sold out in 72 hours. 70
Wow.
72 hours. It took the Beatles 3 weeks, took us 72 hours. But it's because the love, you guys. And
Yes.
I'm Your Captain was, released. A lot of
Sure.
uh, our brothers and sisters had been coming home, been you know, waiting for this.
Yeah.
And that's another big one that lives in my mind, a big gig and flying
Shea
over in a
Stadium. Yeah.
helicopter. We were supposed to meet the limousine in a parking lot, and as we're flying over, Humble Pie's on stage, and they are and the stage is set up at second base, and Shea Stadium is like a half circle. It's set up like this, so the focal point of that reflection of voices was right at second base. I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
When they started singing "I'm Your Captain" with me, it got louder than the PA, and we had a good PA.
Wow.
We had a good one in there. So you know, those kind of experiences it pinch me.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
Definitely. Wow.
but I purpose in my heart to remain a humble servant of love. And I think that's why I
Wow.
get to do what I get to do.
And now you get to
Well
add
put.
being on D&D Dynamite right up there.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
brothers.
Right up
Yeah, come on.
Right.
Oh,
Oh.
it's just so amazing, Mark. The stories and just again the servantship that you show, but these stories of how you've touched so many folks over the span and continue to,
And the
which
ones you
kind
don't
of
know about.
right, which
That's a,
kind of leads me into some
wow.
of your newer projects, and I was going to ask if you wanted to talk a little bit about some of those that you.
Sure. Yeah, the my latest album, Closer to My Home, We did uh, a re-record of the song "I'm Your Captain," and I say we. It was Mark Slaughter, and we did it right there in Tennessee, in Columbia, and um, he says to me when we were doing the rock and roll fantasy camp in New York City, and Howard Stern wanted me to come over and do "I'm Your Captain." And I asked David Fishoff, who owns the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, I said, well, how does he want me to, does he want me to come with a guitar or what? He says, no. He said, take the fantasy band. Well, I had Kip Winger on bass and Sandy Gennaro from Joan Jett's,
Yeah.
drummer. And
Wow.
I had Teddy Zigzag from Guns N' Roses on
Wow.
keyboard, Bruce Kulick from Kiss on acoustic guitar, Mark Slaughter on second, myself on first, and we went in there and we did
Wow.
"I'm Your Captain," and Howard Stern was just all teeth, man. And he was just loving it. And when we got to the part, "Am I in my cabin dreaming?" And Slaughter is singing this far away from me, maybe 18 inches, 2 feet at the most. And he's singing right into my ear. And I'm going, wow, he's hitting these notes perfect, man. I hope these microphones is picking this up like my ears are. And so after we got done doing this, Slaughter says, you know something, Farner, I'm going to send you some music. I want you to just give it a listen. He said, I think I want to work with you. I think you need to do something current because you got such, great. I was jamming a few of my songs in the
Hmm.
green room while we were on deck, and he said, I want to work with you. So we ended up working. He sent me songs, and I said, man, whoever's doing a production on your songs, they know what they're doing. He says, dude, that's me. I said, "Oh, so this might be a good thing." So, and I enjoyed working with Mark. He's a performing musician, as I am a performing musician, and
Hmm.
a lot of times, I'd have time to go down and to work at the studio, but he'd be on the road, or he'd have time and I'd be on the road. So it took us a couple of years with our schedule of getting it done, but we got it done, and there's a lot of good music. A patriot would love this. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know about any other types. I really, I don't, uh, I don't put my mind to try to pigeonhole my music for any certain thing. It's what it is. It's me, it's my heart, and Slaughter, man, what a great guy, a humble man, a servant of the Most High God. Love runs his world too. And we have Native American bloodline, and we more than that, it's the love that we have for this life that we're living, the world
Sure.
around us, and wherever we show up and play music, man, people get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They get it, because we give it to my band. We pray every time before we go on. When I was out with Ringo in 1995, you know, uh, well, not everybody in the band was a devout Christian or anything, but uh, when we would pray, we would just like myself and Felix Cavalieri, and Randy Bachman, would join hands and start praying. And then pretty soon, everybody's, oh, let me get in here. Let me get in here. So pretty soon, that circle
That
got
is
bigger and bigger.
growing. Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
got bigger.
awesome.
And we was playing
That's
over
awesome.
in Wisconsin, and it was hotter than a sheriff's pistol. Man, I ain't kidding you. It was hot. It had to be 110 degrees and humid right there,
Yeah.
by
On
the
top
lake.
of you. Sure.
Yeah. So here we are. We get circled up and we're praying, and Felix prayed, and Entwistle, he hadn't been in one of the prayer circles up to that point, and I see him get in over there. And so he's in the circle and he's bowing his head, and we're all praying. And,
Bluetooth disconnected.
it got,
Bluetooth connected.
what was that?
We're good. Everything's
We're
still
okay.
up.
It's all
We're still
good.
running.
So the prayer ended. It was an amen. And Entwistle put his hands down. He says, "Hey, you could have said something about the weather."
Oh,
Oh, that is hilarious.
that is
Oh.
great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as Marcus mentioned, he did some stuff with Ringo Starr Band, and yeah, that's cool stuff.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah, I was going to mention that when you talked about the Beatles selling out Shay. I was going to go right to this. So that's perfect. I was going to mention your time with Ringo. That's cool stuff. It really is.
Yeah. I
Um,
appreciate it.
Man, fantastic. Well, Mark, before we let you go, let us know like some stuff coming up. Any kind of gigs you got coming up?
At markfarner.com.
There you go.
Yeah. My wife, God bless her, we've been married 48 years. And
Oh, congratulations. Fantastic.
I
Wow,
told her,
yes.
I said, "Lisa, honey, don't tell me where we're going. Don't.
There you go.
I only want to know like the day before, and then I'll pack
you
my
go.
bags and go. I
Right.
got so much on my mind here in Michigan, and I have some song. Man, I got songs coming like crazy, you guys. Unbelievable. I was talking with Kip Winger. He's over in France today, and he said, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm working on some." He says, "Well, send it over." I need some inspiration. So I sent him a little MP3 of what I was working on. He goes, "Oh my God, I got to come back and work with you." It's just it's part of who I am. It's part of what's going on with me. I believe I'll be writing music until I stop sucking air. Serious.
Well, it's amazing because you
please
continue
do.
to share
Please
that gift.
do.
So please do. Yes.
Right.
Hey, real quick,
Appreciate it,
DC.
boys.
Real quick, DC. Dr. Lynn joined in and said,
Hey,
that
Dr.
prison
Lynn.
story is proof that you've got to know your audience. There's a band of country musicians that play family-friendly shows in Branson. They wear overalls and are the sons of britches.
Sons of brick. All right.
Good stuff.
Oh,
Welcome in. We appreciate you
Yes.
joining in with us, Lynn.
yes,
Yeah.
We
yes.
appreciate that, man. Yeah, hey, all the best to you.
Yes.
Thank
Safe
you,
in your
Dave.
travels. We always want to mention that to all our guests, that because I know y'all spend a lot of time on the road, So
Yes, sir.
just all the safe travels and best to your family. And it's been an honor to meet you. I hope we can join up again at some point down the road.
Me too.
Do this
You
again.
and DH both.
All
Yes.
right,
Appreciate it.
fantastic. Could you hang with us as we close out?
Yeah. But let me just tell you one thing. If I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
Yes. Yes,
Amen.
sir. Amen. Yes, sir.
Well put. Once again, people, everybody that's watching tonight, Mark Farner with us. Fantastic, just an amazing career that he's got going on in his life, and his testimony
Yes.
of his life, and man, what an honor, true honor.
Yes.
Thank you,
We
brother.
appreciate you joining with us.
My
All right,
pleasure.
so Mark, if you can hang with us, go ahead,
Yeah.
DH. Let's wrap
All right.
it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another episode of D&D Dynamite 80s. Mark, it has been our honor and our privilege to have you on the show. I want to say either congratulations or condolences, whichever way you want to take it, because now you're a member of the D&D Dynamite
That's it.
family.
All
That's
right.
So either way you want to take it, we're just glad to be here. But folks, as I always end off before I send it over to DC to get our sponsors and everything in, remember, it doesn't cost anything extra to be kind. So always be kind to each other.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Amen.
All right, let's get those sponsors in.
Let's do it.
D&D Dynamite 80s would like to thank their sponsors, Hudson's Flags and More, Jackie's Creations on Facebook, PJG Marketing, The Roy Band, Riley Rhodes Art Designs at rileyroads.art on Instagram, Totally Cool 80s, Charlie Bubbles Cares for Kids, The Magic Yarn Project, and Hearts for Isabella. Check out all these great folks online.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, when we started this about 6.5 years ago, we
Do you
said,
believe that, man?
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe, I just can't believe that. And, it flies by, but it's because we have such great guests.
Fantastic
like Mark
guests
coming
like
on.
we had tonight.
That's what
for
keeps
sure.
this show going, man. It's not
Absolutely,
work,
man.
it's fun. So
It is fun.
I love that. I love what we do here. But we said if we ever got to the point where we could give back and help out, we wanted to do that. And we have been so fortunate to be associated with 3 amazing organizations. The first one is the Magic Yarn Project. And what these folks do is volunteers across the nation, and they hand knit head coverings like princes and superheroes and all of that. And they donate them to kids that are battling cancer in these hospitals. They make such a huge difference for those kids. So we ask that you keep them in your thoughts and prayers if you want to make a donation.
Or volunteer for them.
time.
All over the country, they're looking for volunteers. Absolutely.
Yes.
Wonderful
Next,
people.
The next organization is Charlie Bubbles Cares for Kids. Our friend, the Vooch, Paul
Carafotis, the actor.
he writes the Charlie
Writes
Bubbles
children's
books
as well.
And what they do is if you make a donation, they provide books to children that may not otherwise have the means to get the books. And as educators, we know how important literacy is at a young age. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
a very special organization for us. We ask that, again, thoughts, prayers, monetary contributions, volunteer. And through Charlie Bubbles, we met our sweet angel, Isabella.
There she is.
Isabella was born with a heart condition and succumbed to it.
Right.
And her parents started an organization, Hearts for Isabella. They actually asked Charlie Bubbles to write a book for her, which
And this is the book.
Paul
that he
did. There's
wrote
the
about
book
her.
right there.
All right.
And these folks, what they do is they go into hospitals and are there to support and help parents that are going through these similar situations. So we're very privileged
Wonderful
to be
people.
associated with those organizations. And
Yep.
we just ask if you're looking for an organization for sending your prayers, your thoughts, monetary donations, whatever you can or want to do to help them out, that you please consider them.
Absolutely. Amen, brother. Amen.
Yes.
Another wonderful show. Mark Farner with us again tonight. We
Yes.
appreciate it so much. Coming up next week, Bill Wadhams of Animotion, the 80s
Yes.
band Animotion.
Yes.
And he's out of the great state of Oregon, I think is where he is at. And we'll catch up with Bill. Looking forward to that one. Another great one in the books tonight, guys. We
Yes.
appreciate it.
I was looking at our calendar, DC, and we're about to start booking into 2027.
It's amazing.
It is
I
just
think I've got
amazing.
2 dates open for the rest of the year.
Yes.
And
it's
guys,
just
we do
amazing.
this show weekly, so that is incredible in itself.
Yes.
It really is.
It is amazing. Mark, again, before DC finishes off, I just want to tell you what a privilege and an honor it was to have you on the show.
Amen.
We
Amen.
look forward to having you back and catching up with you at any time. Just amazing what you're doing. And brother, just keep
Godspeed
sharing the
to
love.
you. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you boys keep on keeping on. I love what you're doing. I love your hearts towards the listeners, watchers out there, and you're real. And this is what the world needs. They need us to just be real,
Yeah.
and show
Amen.
them who we're following. Right?
That's right.
Amen. Amen.
Well put. So once again, our guest tonight, Mark Farner. Check out his amazing work. Get on the website. Go see a show.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
there and take it all in, man. It will change your life. I
Yes.
am well convinced of that for sure. So Mark, once again, we appreciate it. And
All right, brother.
for DH, I am DC, and DC always leads us out by saying, keep playing that music, my friends, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, folks.
Take
See you
care.
next week.
Thank you, Mark.
Take care, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.